CNN analysts. Just goes to show how many of these people are not on your side. I mean, it's not like you needed me to explain that to you. You all knew that. I would hope, if people that watch this channel. But they have become so emboldened because they feel like ever so powerful. Some things have worked for them. And the lying, the cheating, the stealing, and all of that. Now, what's going on right now in Canada is an example of people taking it within their own hands to fight off legitimate governmental oppression. Now, they don't see it that way, right? Like, they don't see it that way. And the fact that this is nonviolent, no buildings are getting burned down or anything crazy like that, this really pisses them off because they can't say the same. The authoritarian left, when they protest, which is not that. Usually it goes to riot. Juliet Kayyem. This is what she had to say. The Freedom Convoy protests applauded by right-wing media. Y'all understand that means anybody not a leftist. Says a freedom. Actually, you can actually be a leftist. You just have one position that's different from them. Freedom protest is an economic security issue now. Well, that was the kind of the point. You know, it was always going to make you guys feel uncomfortable because you're dealing with a particular industry of folks that have a lot of power. And I would argue that, and this is why they're so afraid that something like this will happen in America. I would argue that these people, when it comes to like truckers, those folks aren't appreciated by like the coastal elites and they don't even understand how they get their goods at all, or the goods that are then utilized to provide the services for them. They have no idea how that stuff gets to them. It's just on the table or at the supermarket and they can get it. They don't really understand what's going on. They don't appreciate that particular part of it, of like even the country, because a lot of middle Americans are the ones that provide all that stuff, and folks in the South. The Ambassador Bridge link constitutes 28% of annual trade movement between U.S. and Canada. Again, that's the point. That's the point. Like, you are always going to be uncomfortable. But this is the thing that's important that will always get lost into this. They will then switch it and try to pretend like they are the victim, completely ignoring that these guys have instituted policies that are, again, legitimate forms of governmental oppression. When you look at vaccine passports mandates, which are particularly what the convoy is against. That's literal governmental oppression. The government is not only just picking winners and losers, they are attempting to ostracize people that did not want to get an injection. They are the aggressors here. And what you have here is a group of people in these truckers that are pushing back against this. And they don't like that. And they are using what they have, per se, in their power to do a non-compliant, sort of peaceful way, non-violent, rather, way of doing something and trying to bring about change. And now it's going to start impacting your guys' bottom line. Maybe you see stuff, less stuff on the shelves that you may want access to or you may need. This is what they were always afraid of, and this was always an inevitable thing. And I think they were banking on, well, we could use our dirty tricks that we normally use to get them to stop, and it hasn't worked thus far. And there, you know, when you go a long period of time or an extended period of time, it doesn't take long, but an extended period of time with this sort of disruption, this type of thing is inevitable. She says this at the end because, again, she wants us to stop. She says, slash the tires, empty gas tanks, and arrest the drivers and move the trucks. These people, now she ain't going to volunteer. Juliet Kayyem is not going to volunteer. Of course, what is she? She's an Ivy Leaguer, right? Right? Yeah, Harvard professor, Ivy Leaguer, former Obama. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, she's one of the worst people in the world, considering her bio. Absolutely. Worked for a criminal, which makes her one in this case. So these people, I guess this is the silver lining of it all. And not just the fact that there have been alternatives that have come up to help subsidize these truckers and their efforts, but you really are seeing how much disgust that they have for average people. They don't like y'all, man. These are people that you're only as useful to them, or only useful to them, any event that you are affirming their potential or basically their political or social views, if it comes under threat, you are disposable, and they will do like she's not even attempting to really address what they are protesting. She's not. She doesn't even say anything about it. That video maybe, but she's not even saying anything about it because she doesn't care. These people were perfectly and are perfectly fine with you being extorted, you being coerced to get an injection that you might not want to get. And that's not even on her radar because they don't care about regular people and their own concerns. You're not useful to them anymore when you buck the system to throw you all under the bus. And this is something I've been trying to get people to realize for a very long time, because this is the mindset of really anything that you deem as mainstream. This is arguably the position right now. It's safe to say that their position is something along these lines. They don't like y'all. They don't. They're evil pieces of shit. And I think they should be discussed as such. Talking about slash your tires and empty your gas tanks because you are again bucking the system, and the other people, and that includes other people, but especially the elites, and their bottom line is going to be impacted because this trade is not going on in the way that they would like it or need it to go. Yeah, you're talking about a bunch of people that are vital to the countries that they are in. Truckers are very vital. Definitely when you have trade, which is such a big part of how people get their goods. Trade is a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. It doesn't mean trade between different countries, trade between different states. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing because it allows folks to have goods. Otherwise, they can't maybe produce in the areas, whether it be the soil that they live on or whatever. It's not their expertise, whatever reason. And they depend on that. They might not think it. I mean, most coastal Ivy Leaguers don't even understand it really until they see less stuff on the shelves, or the economic reality kind of beats them upside the head. Until then, you are unappreciated. You're not worth a goddamn. You work a job that they would utterly usually find disgusting and something that they want to do. Not that Ivy Leaguer. No. We don't do that. They're academics. Rather do more mainstream commentary and tell you how to live your life because they know what's best, despite really the only thing that they know about is working for the government, or being a career academic. And with those, there's utterly almost no economic consequence to things that they do or say, for the most part, unless you're working for the government and actually implementing something. What I mean economic consequence, I'm talking about to them because they're not operating with money that they have to earn. It's stolen goods. These people hate you, man. Fuck them. I mean, simple as that. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Cannon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.